Alright, I'm making this video to talk about food buff stacking because I've been asked it a few times and it is a little complex. So the first thing I want to mention is you can only have one core food and drink buff. So this is like a food like the assorted canned fruit that gives me a damage increase, or shattered bread, safety sandwich, stardust ratatouille. All of those kind of foods that give you a prime buff, you can only have one of. Same goes for drinks such as like whimsical tea, malt ale, iced tea, the other tea that gives you the PSI intensity. Those kind of drinks that give you the prime effect and the foods cannot be stacked. However, low tier foods such as blue and green can be stacked. The way this works is kind of confusing. So first is the steak combos and the pan fried fish. Now these have multiple different meats you can put in them for the steak combo, and they all give you a little buff. So if we hover over some of these here, deer meat gives me plus 25 stam, the plus 50 HP boost with pork. Rabbit meat is plus 40 stam. Goat meat is gradually restore. Max HP plus 100 on the beer meats. And then there's pollution resistance. There's the pristine meat comes from farming. So to get pristine, you need a farm. And I'm pretty sure these stack on top of the low tier. So other than the steak combos, the pan fried fish also stacks. So all of these pan fried buffs in here, which gives you load percent increases. Same with the grilled fish, also stacks. Grilled fish is a little bit different. This one gives durability, cooldown time, but you can stack all of the pan fried, all the grilled, and you can stack all of the steak combos. I think they will fix this because this just seems a little bit tedious and a little bit goofy, but you can stack all of these. The main two that I recommend always having, and is very cheap to stack, is the deer meat and the rabbit meat for the plus 65 stamina. So I've got a bunch of foods here. I'm going to show you the stacking with all the pan fried, the grilled, and the steak combos, and then we'll talk about whims later as well. But pan fried, boom, that's one buff. I don't remember what that one was. I think that one was load. Yep, so we're at 198 now. So I've got a whim active, I've got featherweight active, I've got the food active plus 10. Then we have the backpack expansion. You can only have one of the substat inside the category. So you can only have one load, one swimming, one crit damage. So you can't stack multiple of the same substat buff in the pan fried fish. When it gets to the steak combos, we can have the steak combo plus 25. Boom, increased stam. We can see that down here. And then we can have the steak combo plus 40 stam. Now we have 65 stam. And again, when you're in a higher part of the game and you are able to farm and get the higher tier meats like deer and rabbit meat, you'll be able to have the pristine steak combos that'll give you a 100% increase in stamina. So it is worth doing farming in this game and breeding your animals. We'll eat our durability here. So durability, in theory, this should increase our weapon durability, I think. I don't quite know how that fully works yet. I'm actually not too sure how that even works. So this just says, it doesn't even say it in here. So we've got the load boost, the stam boosts. So again, they last half an hour, by the way. So half an hour on all of those. It doesn't say anything about this durability one. I don't know what that durability one actually does. That's interesting. But as I was saying, you can stack all of the different kind of buffs from steak combo. You can stack all the pan fried. Only one of each, so you could stack the swim speed, the mining speed, the logging speed, the load. I think those are all in here. So fire rate, we can craft a fire rate here. I actually don't have any bass, but we can get the weak spot, the crit damage, the PSI intensity, the fire rate. I think those are all of them. Yeah, so it goes up to, I think, 10% max, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so the pristine fish, which are the new ones they added, don't actually increase that percentage from the default fish. I'm definitely going to recommend stacking the fire rate one, which comes from the pan fried with the sea bass. Stacking that with the thin rabbit meat. Then you could stack that if you really wanted to with like the crit damage or the weak spot damage. It doesn't really matter too much, to be honest. Then you can have, of course, your one core drink and one core food. I don't have any core drinks on me because I'm in an early phase on my hard server. And now we have our damage boost as well. So as you can see, we're stacking up our buffs pretty high now. We got load, we got stam, cool head, and then again, we can push that further. We can get the fire rate food. We can even use the HP ones if we want to. Keep in mind though, the HP foods are only, I think, 50 each, so they're not really worth it. So yeah, 50 plus 50 HP. That's basically nothing, by the way. Like, I mean, when you're in game, you have like 14k HP, so those ones aren't really going to do much for you. But the stam one, very useful. Almost get 3 extra dodges in if you're using Falcon set or something like that. 2 extra dodges in if you're just not using Falcon set. Then you can stack 6 whims. Whims are the potions you get from deviants. So I usually always use featherweight, massive for inventory space. I believe the featherweight, which comes from the Pupboy Deviant, is exclusive to PvP servers, but there is a catch, and this is something that's been found out recently, is if you are on phase 6 in a novice server and you decide to join a PvE server or vice versa, you can bring the exclusive server deviants over to the other server and make a lot of energy links selling them if you wanted to, or just have an advantage over everyone else and, you know, monopolize it. So you could take this deviant in phase 6 on your novice server and join a PvE server, and you could sell these for a lot, these potions right here. But yes, Pupboy is definitely a very good deviant. Obviously, you've got Lethal Rabbits as well, very worth it. And to add to that, of course, as I said, you can stack 6 whims. I've only got 3 on me right now, but I could pop Predator, I could pop Parapsychology. These come from the Masonic Pyramid, which is also exclusive to PvP servers. And now we have both of those whims here. Parapsychology whim is bugged, it doesn't display here, but it is active. It is like High Alert from Call of Duty. Predator is just a small damage buff and a stealth perk, and then yeah, you've got again your core food effects. You can then add your core drink effect. I usually use iced tea. My main food in game is actually also Stardust Ratatouille, which is movement speed. So yeah, stack all your pan fried, your steak combos, all your whims, your drinks. There's a lot you can stack, and I hope they reduce it so you can't stack them all, because I do think this is a little bit tedious and it just takes a lot of time, you know, doing all the fishing. I mean, it does give you good benefits too, like especially if you're on a PvP server and you're competing in a war, you're probably gonna do this stuff, and it's very tedious. And this was actually an issue at the start of New World as well, where you could stack food buff, and I don't think it should exist. As much as I love having triple stam, all you need is the 1 pristine rabbit meat food. I just want to make a quick video on it because I know a lot of people are confused about it. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.